So as mind, so as man is the micro of the macro, it's very important to understand that man himself is a creator. When I say man, I mean humanity, our creators. So it's very important to understand that when you think of something, that's spirit. It's spirit. And when you ingest it and you put it in and you give it will or you give it life, it becomes word or sound. So you're going from creation, you're going from spiritual to physical. This is creation. This is the same thing that happened for us. We were thoughts that were put into existence. So we do the same thing on a smaller scale. So you have to be careful when you bring down this thought and you pull this thought in and it becomes words. And when you shoot out the words create vibrations which become physical dynamics. As a man thinketh, so he is. So you have to be careful how you think, because you know what? We create demons all the time. And don't recognize that we create demons by the way we think. It's what we think that can give us heaven or hell. But the sister said it best. You sealed your fate. You've sealed your fate. And you know, people look at me and say, well, Professor I Self, you always talking about religion. There's no such thing as religion. I don't believe in religion. I believe in spirit. I believe in spiritual things. I understand what religion is. My people were victims of religion. I understand what religion is. But spiritual dynamics, a lot different from religion, man. Spirit ain't man-made. Religion is.
The affirmations of life. You know, out of the abundance of the heart comes the words.
That's right.
And when we think about what it is that feeds us in terms of gives us knowledge, makes us learn how to love, because this idea of the heart.
Yeah, indeed.
You know, in terms of that. For me, when I talk about innate consciousness, when a child is born and as they grow, they begin to manifest things by what they think, how they play, what they do. They learn exactly value systems. Yeah. They learn how to love or how not to love. Whenever we think of the heart, we think of a place for love. Whenever we think about trials and tribulations, we think about challenges that push us to kind of figure out whether or not love is real or not. And at the end of the day, when we talk about perfect love, we talk about the dynamics of the Holy Spirit to make us clean, pure, energized, and constructive and productive.
That's right, that's right.
Everything else that which is evil, destroy that place. It makes the heart cold when we think about it in a symbolic way. It makes us more prone to accepting that which is evil. Things that destroy, things that do not produce, things that are not fruitful.
Right.
Well, I think beyond this challenge, because it is a way, again, for me, a recruitment tool to you. Take the challenge so that you can come on board. Take the challenge so I know who you are.
Yeah, so you know what side.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's an identification.
Exactly. Identify yourself now, because we need to manipulate what's going on. For those of us who see beyond this whole facade and know that we are in spiritual warfare, and we know that we want to proclaim what side we're on, there are ways in which that we can cultivate that energy amongst ourselves and amongst our peers. First of all, we have to deny it.
That's right.
First of all, we have to profess that we are not the devil's playground, and only the Holy Spirit resides here. And that's the only thing that I will accept within my life and within my sphere. I saw your video that spoke about the fact that there are invisible entities around us that you can't place a tangible hand on, but you can feel, and it will affect you. These are the energy that produce. That the family is a spiritual family.
That's right.
And this is absolutely correct. Could you talk a little bit about that in terms of how that will actualize against this particular challenge that people are posing?
Oh yeah, well definitely, because what's going on right now is that this blasphemy challenge is actually one family pulling in other family members. By them admitting and saying, you know, I'm going to take this challenge, they are choosing their sides. They're sitting where they belong. They've been recruited. They've actualized the recruitment process. They got on YouTube, on the internet, and proclaimed where they sit. And it's the same way on our side. I told y'all the last time I made a video called for every Jesus is a Judas.
That's right.
I'm a Jesus. This is a Jesus. You understand? We are the consciousness. We are the Christ consciousness. So within this consciousness, our duty, our job is to be light. Our job is to shine. And I can only shine, and I can only do my job correctly and properly with my family. And that's not my blood. You know, I'm grateful for what the Creator has given me in my blood family, but I'm also even more grateful what the Creator has given me in my spiritual family. My family, who's going to do the great works with me, are those of the same spirit. That's my family. You know what I mean? My mother, my father, they were vehicles and tools that was used to bring me into existence. But you know what? If my mother and my father are out of order, they'll get it too. That's just how it works. I'm not here for. We're not here to be socialized about the external factors of human beings or human dynamics. We're all for humanity, but before we were human beings, we were spirit first. I say it all the time. We're spiritual beings having a human experience.
That's right. So Christ-like people, don't be passive.
That's right.
Don't be laid back. Now is the time for that natural revival.
That's right.
All those things of songs of praise and everything else that you do. Bring out who you are and take bold steps forward, because we are not going to let them get away with it. The time is not now.
Yeah, that's right.
Not now for evil, and it will never be.
Can't be cowards. Evil doesn't exist. It only exists when those stand by and see it and don't do nothing about it. You know what I mean? For every evil deed, a good deed will destroy an evil deed. It's very simple.
To question whether or not that God exists or that God is omnipotent is to shake the very ground in which you walk on. It's to say that you don't exist.
That's right. Now that's real talk. See? Listen to what she just said. Because remember, a seed is only as perfect as perfect as the source from which it comes. Now, what does that mean? That means that we are creation. That man, the human beings, we are creation. The Creator created us. And we know on a small scale, like I said earlier, creation starts with thinking or thought. So we are all thoughts of the holy Creator. We're all thoughts of the Creator. That's what we are. And in order to be a thought, what does thoughts do? Thoughts go out, they take their place, they take form, they do what they do, and then guess what they do? They return from whence they come.
Don't let the inequities of life and the contradictions that we live and the challenges that we face stop you from being humble. We are creation.
Humility is your strength. Don't take humility as a kindness, because we've been taught if you're humble, you're kind, you're weak. No, you're powerful actually. The ability to be humble and to have kind words and do kind things is a very, very strong power. That's a quality of the Creator. One to be angry, cussing and hollering and trying to fight and call people out of their names, that's a person who lacks spiritual substance. That's a person or people who don't have a connection to the Most High Creator, because what I do to harm you is me simply harming myself, because we are all connected by the cord of life. This is a unity factor right here, man. We are all connected, all of us, by the cord of life. But in that connection, I will reject and detach from certain type of connections that will maybe put me in an environment or a spiritual dynamic that does not fit my spirit.